Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show Week 4. We're here at a brand new site for the Gridiron Show. That is San Juan Hills in San Juan Capistrano. Steve, did you get lost on the way here?
No, thankfully I know the county a little bit. I'm still old school. I use a Thomas guide. It's better than that GPS stuff.
Nah, Google Maps, that's the best thing going. Dan, you've been here a number of times. And we'll get into our game of the week. But first, our stars of week 3. Guys, I'll go first as usual. Danny Garcia of Servite. I pick a defensive player of the week. Sorry to steal your thunder, Dan. He had 4 sacks. He was all over the field. Steve, who do you got this week?
Buena Park senior quarterback Zach Taylor, 370 yards, 5 touchdown passes as Buena Park beat Esperanza in overtime, 42-35. Taylor's having a heck of a year.
He sure is. Had a good year last year, too,
Yep.
And the seniors continuing his solid play. Dan, who is your player this for week 3?
I'm going with Eric Barrier, the quarterback from La Habra, one of our cover boys from the season preview. And through the game-winning Hail Mary touchdown pass, 44-yarder, last play to beat Los Alamitos, 37-32. That's early contender for play of the year. Game of the year.
Guys, our game of the week is Los Alamitos versus the guys behind us, San Juan Hills. Dan, you were at that classic game between Los Al and La Habra last week. The Griffins had Jack Talenko had 287 yards passing, so we don't want to forget him with all of the heroics of Eric Barrier last week. Your thoughts on that game leading up to this one against San Juan Hills, who looks scary, using your words?
Well, one thing, the Stallions out here are having a very intense practice, and this is on Monday. You mentioned Talenko. Last week, he had most of those yards in the second half, and Los Al played a really outstanding second half. That's what they got to capture, and they got to keep that momentum. They really dominated San Juan Hills when these teams played last year, so they have that as well.
Yeah, revenge factor in place. Steve, San Juan Hills, a rising power in Orange County, currently ranked number 10 in the OC top 10. And the quarterback, he's all-county material, Patrick O'Brien. Last week in a 51-6 victory over Marina, had 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. This team is on the rise.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this game. I think it's almost a coin flip game too, Dan, and I want to see O'Brien play. We got to look at all county guys. We have our meeting in December, late December. He's going to be in the discussion, I'm certain, and I'm going to see how they play defensively. They're in a pretty good league, South Coast League, so they've got, that's got Tesoro and Mission Viejo also in the top 10 in it. So, these kind of games, I love these kind of games. You get an idea how good these teams are vis-a-vis the top 10 and how good they're going to be come when league starts up in just a couple weeks.
South Coast League, NCA. No chumps allowed.
Exactly.
All right, so we caught up with the Stallions earlier. Here's what they had to say.
Tim, what does the RFTB mean for you?
For me, it's about brotherhood, and it's the definition, or kind of what we talk about, is humble service for a cause and kind of doing stuff for others and doing stuff for your brothers.
It's going to be our homecoming game, but everyone knows that Los Al is a really good school, and we're 4-0 right now, so everyone wants to come watch us play, and probably some other people from around the surrounding cities probably want to come out and watch this game. But I feel like it's going to be really packed and probably sell out before on Friday, so people are going to buy their tickets early.
Obviously, Los Alamitos, great coaches, great tradition, great program. Hopefully it's a great high school football game.
We go to our other game of the week. I think this is a great game too, guys. This is Tesoro versus Corona Del Mar. This is at Estancia Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Tesoro last week, Devon Monster had 343 pass yards and 4 touchdowns. The kid's been killing it all year and very deserving of that spot in the top 150 you gave him, Dan. Tesoro's at San Clemente next week. That's a big game, but they can't look past the Sea Kings, who looked great in a battle against Newport Harbor that we saw them last week, Steve.
Yeah, we were at that game together, Jonathan. It was a pretty fun game. Corona Del Mar's defense was really good. Newport Harbor like 5 times got past the 50, but they just would shut him down right there. And then the quarterback, Chase Garbers, completed his first 11 passes, was really good. And that team, Corona Del Mar, I think is a little more physical than I thought they'd be. Corona Del Mar is fast on defense. They're going to have to be really super fast against Tesoro and Monster.
We always talk about we love teams that schedule up, and CDM is certainly scheduling up to face Tesoro. They lose their head coach, Dan, but it looks like the Sea Kings are still on track.
They are definitely on track, and these games just make them that much tougher for the Pacific Coast League to handle. You mentioned Monster. I mean, I think he could be. You got to throw him out in the early conversation for first-team All-County quarterback. He's pretty lights out. Patrick O'Brien has been lights out. So we know about KJ Costello. So right now those are some 3 really special quarterbacks. And there's a bunch after that, but to those guys stand out to me right now.
Finally, guys, Edison at Mater Dei. These guys have been playing forever. We know Coach White over there loves to play that Trinity twosome of Servite and Mater Dei. A little history. The last time the Chargers beat Mater Dei was in 2009. I think that was their epic run to the CIF Finals, guys. Edison lost a tough one, Steve, to Servite, 21-14. So they're coming off that tough loss that they feel that they could have won there with a couple of mishaps, maybe some bad calls here and there. Mater Dei is just looking better and better. JT Daniels looks like a phenom right now.
Yeah, he is. Freshman with what? He's got 12 touchdown passes or something over already this season. So
4 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's really settling in. It's going to be interesting to see how this one rolls out. I think everybody's going to favor Mater Dei, but gosh, Edison, they play with such spirit and such pride. I really love the way those guys go about their business. It's awesome.
Yeah, they play hard, they play tough. Edison definitely never lays down for anybody. Mater Dei is a beast. Part of that Trinity twosome, Dan. How do you look at this one?
Yeah, this is a big game for Mater Dei where they got to try to finish their non-league schedule. This is their last one, I believe, their last non-league game before they open the Trinity League against Orange Lutheran. So they're going to want to finish with a lot of momentum. It was good to see Osiris St. Brown get back into the mix. He's been slowed by injury so far. He showed what he could do last week against Upland with a couple touchdown catches. But I think this has a chance to be a pretty good game. I think the biggest thing with Edison that in their 2 of the losses that we've spotlighted, they've had a real trouble protecting the quarterback with those sacks. Danny Garcia from Servite had 4, and then their loss against Tesoro, Vegas had 5. So I think Edison's got to pass protect better.
Yep, they definitely do. Our thanks to Steve Fryer and Dan Albano for all your latest football updates. Check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.